broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
A very melancholy end of the road for the 2015 New England Patriots.
Yeah, I just, all I can think about is why throw to Edelman in that 2-point. He was
he came right out of the
He's
box.
just going right.
Well, I'm just going to tell you what's been haunting me.
Man,
It's been haunting me.
I figured we'd start the hot button issue everybody's talking about, Tabletgate. Oh wait, nobody's talking about that because the game wasn't in Foxborough.
Right. It's funny how that works, isn't it?
It is. Oh, as much as I love the boys to men,
No
it's
foreplay
just
right to it.
just horrible.
Well, these are the things that hurt. I thought we were here to let it out. I thought this was the safe tree.
It is. This is the trust tree. Let it out. We're here to kind of soothe the pains of Patriot Nation. Guys, thanks for joining us again for a very melancholy end of the season. Patriots Wrap 360. Joining me per usual, Jason Cherella and Kevin Finn. We got a very special guest with us tonight, making sure we don't swear or burst into tears. Cashton Finn with us tonight. How you doing, Cashton?
Good.
Yeah, looking good. I love that Tom Brady shirt.
How's that beef jerky?
Good.
Despite the loss, is Tom Brady still your favorite quarterback?
Who's the best quarterback of all time, though?
Tom Brady?
That's it. He got it right. He's well prepped.
Yeah.
He's well prepped tonight.
Yes.
Oh boy. So I mean, it's a sad day.
It's a great show tonight, guys, and we'll see you next.
Let me start by.
Are you gonna uplift us right now?
One of the great things about this show being on a Wednesday is that after a tough loss that we suffered there's a couple days to kind of machinate and kind of come to your senses a little bit, and I think it's a good thing that the game wasn't, or our show wasn't on Monday night. Would have been suicide watch for the three of us, but listen, that was an amazing season, right? Great season.
I hear you. I mean, I was hot after Sunday, and I think I have. I'm not sure what machinate means, but from the context, I think I have been doing that over the past couple days. And, just kind of settling down and reflecting on the season. And just, what gave me some solace when I woke up Monday morning and was still kind of feeling a little eerie. I was like, at least I'm not a Jet fan. And it just this calmness washed over me.
Wow.
And I just realized how lucky we are to
just
cheer
for
this team.
Make yourself feel better at this time.
Right.
Beat on someone.
Who's below you? Okay, that feels better.
As harsh as that sound, it is effective.
Let's get to the game. Are we actually gonna touch this disaster?
Let's get to the game. I mean, we might as well. We don't have a game to look forward to, so we can talk about this debauchery for the whole time. It was never a game I felt good about. It was always bad, and it was kind of surprising that it ended up in the 2-point conversion. But yeah, let's pick it up from the beginning. The coin toss. Cash, I know that's one of your favorites of the game. What'd you have to say about the coin toss? We didn't get to see it, right?
Yeah.
Kind of puts you at a bad spin right off the top, doesn't it? Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But, and then Bill Belichick also goes ahead and doesn't defer.
I know.
I mean, it's all. I mean, I'll never want to accuse the coach of overcoaching, But like that's almost like if it ain't broken, don't fix it type of thing.
Well, it's kind of almost against his mantra of like we always do things. We're going to continue to do things the way we do them,
Right.
this and that, and. Everybody's always insulted by things that the Patriots do or whatever, and they're insulted that they. But it was, anytime you do something like that, is it a wake up call to the team? They're saying, and it was just alarming. And like you said, the game never really felt good, and that didn't feel good at all. There was something about that felt off from the beginning.
Right.
I was watching it with Cash the second time, and he's like, "Where's the coin toss? Where's the coin toss?" Cashy, we got you, bud.
Yeah.
And
He's looking for the coin toss.
yeah, he was looking for the coin toss. And then and now, and we didn't see it, and then he doesn't defer. It was an awkward start to the game. And the rhythm just never got going for the Pats.
Yeah, and then the Pats, they didn't go 3-and-out on that first possession, but they were able to manage a first down, but then they ended up punting anyways, and it was just started off poorly, And it's just like, why? Why not defer? Why not stick with trying to get that end of the first half score and the first and the second half? Seemed a little out of sorts. I can understand if there's a Willie Wall forecasted to come in the second half or something like that, but
the only other time they've done that really in that situation is Cincinnati in like 2009 or something, right? When it was like gale force winds. So,
but someone asked him that, I think it was in the EI interview, and he was just, or maybe it was like the day after press conference, and he was just like, "Oh no, I didn't see anything with the weather or anything like that. I don't believe forecasts." But I mean,
Jason called it. Strangely enough, Jason called it.
Because I woke up in the morning and like we were talking about when you were at my house.
Broken clock is right twice a day.
It was like everything just didn't feel right.
No, sorry.
Very recyclable, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we got up in the morning on Sunday, and everything. I just all of a sudden I was confident all week, and then just something didn't feel right on Sunday morning, and so to me it was just like things. It just seemed I don't know why. Mm-hmm. And that was the start of a lot of things that just were like everything's off right now.
Well, I think
including the offensive line. I think they took the day off. Actually,
yeah, that was tough because I mean that's the things we kind of been hopping on. Really, what the keys for the Patriots is winning the turnover battle and protecting number 12, and they didn't do either one of those. So I mean, we shouldn't be surprised that it came in an L.
And offensive line was terrible, but hats off to the Denver D. They certainly
they
came
did a
to play.
good job with Edelman. They did a good job with Gronkowski. I mean, he's
just an animal still. He's still got 8 catches for 140 something yards.
And
Brady had no time to throw, and when he did, it was he was forcing them in. Like it was.
He threw some away too. It was just, the guy got hit. I heard different reports, 20 or 23 times. The most by any quarterback this season in a single game.
Oh, really? I didn't hear that.
Yeah. His previous high was 12.
See,
got
it
sacked
doesn't matter
4 times.
What kind of cabbage juice you're drinking.
Yeah.
If you keep that up, you're not going to be in this league much longer.
It's true. And
I mean, as much as I want him to be, obviously, but that's and obviously someone paid the price for that.
Yes, Dave Diddle Me Elmo. That's that bad name for a child's toy. Yeah, something all around those lines. Yeah, I mean, you change one syllable, you're not going to sell many of those. But so he's gone. Apparently they're moving on from their strength and conditioning coach too, maybe because those offensive line guys can't push guys away. Well, Marcus Nats, that was a report today that they're moving on.
I mean, and you had mentioned something about it early in the week. It was just I felt like Belichick could have waited a little bit maybe on that firing.
It was aggressive.
It was, just like a couple weeks or something,
Let the dust settle.
Yeah.
It did seem like a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction. He seemed to make it sound on the EEI interview that it was like the coach's contract was up that day, so they had to come to an immediate, decision on that. And it's like, is there a lot of clamoring for O-line coaches? I mean, I suppose there are. There's still guys filling out their staffs, all the new coaches.
I guess it gives them an opportunity to get another job. Is what it does.
I mean, I think the interesting thing that I try and Belichick was on EEI today, and he was talking about 16 years and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And one of the quotes that I gleaned out of that was, he said, "Listen, I've made a lot of mistakes over the years. I've made a lot of bad decisions, and I'm going to make a lot more mistakes. But, I try and do what's in the best of my team and this and that." So, everyone paints him as a genius, and I think a lot of what he does is hard work. I think because he's I still think he's the best coach in the league, but I just don't necessarily think the best coach in the NFL is necessarily a genius, quote unquote. But I mean, he's a great football mind, and a lot of what he does is hard work. My point is necessarily that I don't think he's a great manager of people. I don't think you're going to find him, going on to manage Gillette in some kind of corporate, stance after he retires. I mean, this guy's a football coach, so the way he handles maybe a firing, and stuff like this, some of these other ancillary things probably isn't the best. The guy can't wire a VCR,
I mean, honestly, I think in some ways that firing happens because, like you said, all these teams are hiring their coaches and the position coaches. It allows him to actually get a job. If you wait any longer, you're doing him a disservice by keeping him.
He made it stop. Like Belichick made it sound like it was kind of a mutual parting too. So I don't know if that's just kind of saving face for the guy.
Almost every team in the AFC East, I think, is
that true?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's true.
He's definitely got a great offensive line voice.
He looks like he could step in for like the over 40 league offensive line.
Right?
If they have that.
Oh man.
Cash, you gonna play football? You are? What position?
Offense.
Oh, offense. What position on offense? Quarterback, running back, tight end?
Tight end.
Quarter end.
Split end.
Quarter end.
By that time, I mean, Cash, they'll be playing with those huge inflatable balls like you see on that infomercial thing.
Oh, yes, yes.
Why don't they look into those? Like, don't make them for the whole upper body, but just have everybody roll around in one of those around their head.
He's been talking about that.
I've been talking about that for years.
Right? Why not? I mean, Joe Paterno might have been onto something when he said, lose the face masks. That could be something, too.
Yeah. I was saying go back to the leather hats.
Yeah. There you go.
You won't go spear hunting then.
So
we have all 7 Pats Pro Bowlers decided that they were
hearing a buzz. Whose phone's close? You got your phone close to that? All right.
All 7 Pro Bowlers from the Patriots decided that they're gonna sit out the Pro Bowl.
Interesting.
That is very interesting, isn't it?
It's not surprising to me.
That's a hot phone there. Somebody's.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. It's not surprising to me in the least. In fact, I'm wondering if a Patriot in the Tom Brady era is ever going to go to the Pro Bowl ever again until this whole shenanigans is squared away with the commish.
I know. Well, to me, I don't think that it was a Patriots rule necessarily to, I don't think that Malcolm Butler is not going to the Pro Bowl because they don't want him to go. What do you think?
What?
Just easy on the jerky rattle. It's all good. But
that's the buzzing. Huh?
Yeah, that's not causing it.
His stomach was buzzing. Yeah, I mean, do you think? I mean, because clearly just everybody's falling in line behind Brady. Are the Cardinals going to the game? They just lost last week. I bet there's going to be some Cardinals in the game.
There's so many people not going. It's a joke, the Pro Bowl at this point. But
especially, is it in Arizona?
It's
or is it in Hawaii again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next year or 3 years, it's probably going to be in LA.
But I don't think that someone like Gostowski or Slater, Butler. I don't think they're like, hey guys, we would rather you not go. I don't think that's going down. So I mean, in some ways.
No, I don't. I think they're just doing it on their own.
On their own?
In support of their.
You think?
Their leader.
Well, that's why I'm saying it's interesting. Is that really what's taking place right now?
I also think some of them are like, okay, the loss stinks. It's like I make a lot of money. I'll go there in March.
Yeah, but
it's
an honor too.
Popularity contest.
It's an honor. I mean, I'm sure Mr. Kraft's gonna honor the All Pro bonuses. They can use that to go to Hawaii.
Question for you.
Okay.
Off season, we've got some big contracts potentially coming up.
We do. We're not even going to dwell on this game at all. We're just going to.
Well, we can go back and forth. It's good.
Okay.
It's a little seesaw.
It
here.
is a rudderless discussion of all things
I know.
Patriots. That's what we do here on Patriots Wrap
Put
360.
the rudder away then.
All right. So yes, a lot of big, interesting free agents coming up. Like the biggest free agent I'd have to say is probably Akeem Hicks, who was a nice pickup via trade, and
Sounds
pretty
like
much
we're not going to be able to sign him.
no, I don't think so.
But what it does sound like they're going to try and make happen is get the Butler extended.
That would be great to get the Butler extended, but even more so over that is coming up after the 016 is you'll have Jones, Hightower, and Collins all coming up. So, I mean, I think you don't have you have Malcolm until after the 017 season as it stands right now, I believe. So those guys might be a little bit more pressing to get done because those are obviously three vital cogs on the defense. Speaking of Jamie Collins,
Yep.
how'd you think he played on Sunday?
I thought he played pretty well.
Yeah.
But am I wrong about
Well,
that?
I mean, on the one hand, he was kind of all over the place. He made some good stuffs in the run game. He had a nice sack. But on the 2 touchdowns to Owen Daniels seemed to be the culprit. I mean, that first one, which was really sad because it was right down the middle. And if you're defending Peyton Manning, it's like defend him between the hash marks. Make this dude beat you outside the numbers, you know? That's kind of been the blueprint forever on this guy.
I felt like when they blitzed, they had a lot of success, but they didn't really blitz that much. You know?
And I feel like they didn't disrupt Manning as much as I was hoping. But you know, like, listen, I mean, what are we critiquing the defense? I thought the defense did pretty damn well in the second half. That's for sure.
They forced them
One field goal.
That was
3
it
points
in the second half. Yeah, so they did good. It was really
I
just
think
those.
the offense, the Denver Broncos offense. I mean, it was 60 yards maybe in the second half.
Yeah, it was definitely a good second half for them, and they played pretty well in the first half too. It was just those 2 touchdowns where they got beat on double moves.
Extra point,
you know,
extra point.
Well, that too. But those just on the defense before we move on, those 2 things on double moves were tough, and it looked like Jamie Collins was kind of the culprit on both of those. Maybe Ninkovich on that first one. It was kind of unsure who had that, but I think it was Jamie. And then also that like 3rd and 1 around midfield that Denver had towards the end of the half, that dude breaks off a 30-yard run, C.J. Anderson, and that ends up getting a field goal. If they stop him there, you know, maybe they stop that 3, and, you know, that could be a different game. But, yes, the most reliable kicker in the game missed the first extra point we had, and it was just very disconcerting.
It's just...
You know what? That goes again to the whole thing about deferring and not deferring, the coin flip, and then him missing that extra point. You just knew when he missed that extra point. You knew it's like, oh, what this is the game we're in right now. This is what's happening. It's bad mojo is going against us, you know. But you know what?
When does he get cut?
Yeah, right. Right. I love that the guys just right away stuck up for him, and you know, I mean, look. Then he came back and he hit some huge field goals. You know,
didn't get an opportunity to kick a few more that might have.
Man, well, let's talk about that.
I mean, I think that
4th and 1, 6 minutes left in the game. I know you came out after that and been like, I'm not quite sure we shouldn't have kicked that.
I probably came out, you know,
after we didn't get it.
Yeah. Well,
right.
Maybe not.
You and Mike Wilbon.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I would have liked to at that point. You know what it was? It was more not necessarily that I thought I wanted us to kick a field goal. I thought Bill Belichick would have kicked. That was, in my opinion, I was like, you know, I know he goes for it, but to me it felt like at that point we were gaining momentum, and I always feel like he's the type of guy that doesn't panic when there's, you know, 6 minutes left on the clock in the fourth quarter, 8 minutes left on the clock, and I'm not sure exactly where 6, right? Yeah. And you know, so to me the game was not, there was not one score that was going to decide the outcome of that game at that point, from that point on. You know what I mean? So I thought true to him, but he was a little bit out of his, typical form because he was in the AFC Championship, and like he said, he's trying to do everything in his power for the Pats to win. So
I can't argue it. You got the best
you can't.
quarterback to ever do it.
Look, I
4th and 1.
And I don't even know
It's
what
like-
I'm sure the stats are probably maybe even in favor of going for it there. I don't know what they are.
I can see both arguments for sure, especially in a game like that where we getting points is just all we just trying to get points at this point in any way we know how. And so I could have seen the argument to kick it there. But, it's one of those things where if you're playing blackjack and you're saying, okay, on 15s, I'm going to hit or I'm going to stay, you make that conscious decision. Once he made that decision that he's going to go for it, which then, translates to now 4th and 6 with 2.5 minutes left in the game. Well, I'm going for it. Well, we already decided that. This is what we're doing. We're going down that road. We're playing aggressive, and I'm going to hit on 15. That's what I'm going to do.
I don't necessarily see it like that. It isn't a hit on 15 thing. It's a kind of a, it's apples and oranges. I mean, 4th and 1 with 6 minutes left is a little different than 4th and 6 with 2.5 minutes left. And you can kind of, the way if you don't go for it and you end up kicking the 3, it's a very real possibility that you don't see the ball again. Denver just has to make one first down.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Essentially.
Look.
So it's like, it's a bunch of money quarterbacks that are calling out Belichick on that. And it's just in the play, in the way, I was like, go for it.
Both times.
Yeah.
Both times.
Both times.
Yeah.
Both times.
Absolutely.
So it was just tough. The Pats didn't seem to, obviously make the plays when they needed to. They were terrible on 3rd down, 2 for 15 converting on 3rd down. Meanwhile, the Broncos were 6 for 17.
Yeah, James White had a lot of passes just out of his reach. Maybe he dropped a couple they could have had.
Yeah, they really seem to go to that matchup in the second half a lot, him versus linebackers, which I kind of like that matchup, but I really was expecting a lot more because I expected them to double team Gronk a lot, which they did, and double team Edelman a lot, which they did. So I was really hoping for a Keyshawn Martin or a JoJo LaFell or Amendola. I really thought Amendola was going to have a good game.
So did I.
But those other guys were like not to be heard from, and it's like, so is the nickel and the dime cornerback like really that good that they're shutting those guys down? And it just
I think it came down to Brady not having enough time to get to those receivers. He literally was throwing the ball on his second read, or just forcing them in there in situations where he could have thrown Amendola or James White or even LaFell. Like I just think that he didn't have time to get down to those reads. That's how. He didn't have time to think. He had to just throw. It was evident.
It clearly got in his head too. Not that I'm not criticizing him, but when you have to make all these decisions inside 2 seconds, 1, 2,
exactly.
1, 2, and they
just can't get in that rhythm.
They preach protecting the ball. So if you're afraid that you're going to get blasted from behind and lose a precious turnover there, you start to, one extra thought completely messes up that whole time in an exchange, and clearly he wasn't able to get in a rhythm at all.
Yeah, even the Gronk touchdown there at the end, like I felt like, wow, that was lucky. Like
what a catch that was!
It was a great catch.
Fun. A lot of fun moments this year though from the Pats, and I'm kind of glad that I was preaching about the refs, possibly. I'm really, having an outcome of the game.
Great call.
They I feel like they Hockey League called a good game. There. You got to give the good with the bad. There was some interesting, moments in the game there for them, but for the most part, they didn't decide the game. If they didn't get that lateral, man, the Pats could have been deep trouble.
Yeah, that was like,
I think that was
saved the first half, definitely.
Yeah.
And then gave them a short field, and they were obviously able to punch it in with Steve Jackson.
Yeah, the game shouldn't. I don't think it should have been that close. Denver let them back in it in the second half. That's for sure. But I think we got very lucky with that call being reversed to a backwards pass, because I got to be honest,
I was very
if that
shocked.
was against the Pats, I would have been losing my mind.
That's such a tough call to just, I don't know. That was amazing that
I couldn't
worked.
believe we got it.
Yeah,
the reversed anyway.
Yeah.
But it helped.
And then we punched it in. Despite Ghost missing the extra point, we still had the defense, I think, stop the Broncos in the next drive and then got it back. And then that's when Brady threw that crucial pick on giving it over in the red area. And it was just so sad. I mean, it seemed like he just grossly underthrew Gronk on that, He said that, Gronk cut back in and he didn't think Von Miller knew that he was going to cut back in and he dropped back into it. But it seemed to me, the dude is 6'7", which I believe is taller than Von Miller. Let's throw a pop-up to the kid. Let him go get it. But
weren't you just talking about Monday morning quarterback?
Yeah,
Bill
no,
Belichick. Oh, it was Bill Belichick. You can do it to Tom Brady, just not.
Well,
Bill Belichick.
that was right after the play. I was like, "Hey, come on, buddy,"
And then Von Miller's in the locker room saying,
"Kesh, you get antsy,
the
bud?
ball's
Take a seat.
underinflated." But
yeah, I know that was terrible.
Come on.
I mean,
clean it up.
That guy hasn't done enough winning. He doesn't know how to win with class.
Act like you've been there before.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you have. And you know what? It wasn't pretty.
Ooh. He actually didn't play the last time they matched up a couple years ago in the AFC Championship game.
But people with class, maybe C.J. Anderson, with Tom Brady.
Yeah, everyone's loving that. I did feel like it was there was a couple backhanded slaps in there. Like, I know everybody hates you, and a lot of people hate you. I was like, Jesus.
Well, I think that's just a young kid just being like, yo, and
Yeah, I'm not criticizing.
Why does everybody hate this guy?
But I think that
it is what it is.
it is what it is, and Belichick and Manning, that's to me, that's how you win and you lose, and this other stuff. And you know what? I quite honestly, I feel like it's a new generational thing where winning is about stuffing it in the opposing player's face. And unfortunately, I feel like a lot of athletes who do that now are just teaching the kids who are coming up that that's how it's played. And to some extent, I think Cam Newton's a little bit guilty of that. It's more of in your face, I beat you. In your face, I beat you. Whereas I don't know. I think it's a lot of the players the younger players are starting to. That's how they celebrate versus. There's a little bit of
I think Cam Newton's obviously getting a bad rap, but he's not taking footballs and saying he's trying to rub his balls in Tom Brady's face. I mean, he's running around doing his thing, his Superman thing. He's handing out footballs to kids that are
Cam Newton is
know.
probably a bad example that I was trying to use.
But no, I know. What you mean.
There's also smack talking going on every play, so I'm pretty lenient on stuff like that.
Well, and I think
when a guy beats a guy on a play that's been yapping at him all day,
and you know
let
what?
him hear about it.
And the reason I brought up Cam Newton is it's because every time he gets a first down, I don't care where it is in the field, it's like a celebration. I mean, it's in your face, and I'm just like, first down. It's a first down.
Yeah. You ever seen a Tom Brady scramble that resulted in a first down?
Well, certain first downs. Certain first downs.
Pretty excited. Go easy on touching that mic, buddy. But he had a scramble for over 10 yards in this game, and so did Manning.
Yeah,
Is that amazing?
I know.
Oh my God,
I know.
that was crazy.
He had the most yards rushing, and deep into the second quarter.
I know. Well, that the old saying goes, basically football 101 is if you're going to win the game, you have to be able to stop the run and run the football.
Well, speaking of
running, they were able to do the first one.
Speaking of running the ball, can we say we won't see Blunt next season, and maybe you'll see?
He's a free agent, right?
Yeah.
He is.
I don't think you'll see him. But do you think we might see Marshawn Lynch?
I don't think that's not a bad call, to be honest.
Do you think we'll see Calvin Johnson?
I'm loving Calvin Johnson.
That's what I think.
We seem to need a wide receiver. I
wouldn't be surprised.
Some height.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see them both.
Yeah. Yeah, on 1-year deals, that'd be fine with me. Because he has a huge cap number for the Lions next year. And even if they waive him, he still counts something like $12 million against the cap. So that's pretty crazy. That's even if they were outright waive him. Mm-hmm. That's the case. I think that's what I read, which is pretty crazy. But so how about the Pats just throw over a 5th round pick, and just take him off their hands?
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, I really would love to see
nice.
him in New England. I think the guy's
He's only a year older than Randy Moss was when we got Randy Moss.
Yeah.
It's kind of when Belichick in the past has gone out and done the Randy Moss, the Revises after kind of big losses like this, you know.
Eric Wilbur had a good article about that today or yesterday on, I think, Boston.com, where, after they were losses to Peyton
Colts.
in the AFC Championship game.
In the AFC Championship game.
In the 06 Championship, he went out and got Moss. And this is like notoriously a team that builds through the draft and doesn't make that big splash in free agency or via trade. Moss came via trade. And then losing to Manning and the Broncos a couple years later, 2 years ago, when got Revis. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to say, losing again to Mr. Manning, if he does make that that big splash.
Oh, so. Tom Brady.
How about Matt Forte? We'll take him.
Yeah, that's who I think is probably...
That'd be nice. Mm-hmm. But Marshawn is not on her. I wouldn't be surprised at that either. Wouldn't surprise me one bit.
I know. I mean, first and foremost, I'd love to see Calvin Johnson. I mean, look, give it to Tom. You know, this is no time to wait now. You know, no time to wait. Bring him in.
Yeah. I mean, you think just sticking in the wide receiver core, you think like LaFell's probably cut,
gone,
Amendola cut.
Yeah.
He's just too much of a cap number next year.
Yeah.
Or a restructure. He restructured. So if he wants to come back,
he restructured last year, I think. So it'd be 2 years in a row.
Yeah, because he's next year against the cap, $6.8 million cap hit, which is more than Edelman or Gronkowski. So
Mayo probably last time you see him in a Patriots uniform.
Yeah, I mean the one thing with Mayo is like, I mean, could you just get him back for a song? You know, could you just get him back for dirt money? You know, just because he wants to, be a Patriot still and be in that locker room. Because obviously, he just had his surgery for torn pectoral and says he's going to be ready for training camp and all that stuff. And you pull for a guy like that, but you wonder if that's going to be training camp for the Houston Texans. But another guy I heard rumored to be going because he has a big cap hit. I don't know if I agree with this, but maybe Vollmer.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
Yeah.
All right.
So, but bless you, buddy. Bless you, pal.
Thanks.
I know you. I thought you were overcome there for a second. I think you were harking back to Sunday.
I was dabbing.
Yeah. So if they decline Mayo's option, the Pats will save $7 million on that. So that's.
I don't think there's much of a
debate on that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it is tough business. The NFL, tough business.
Brutal for a guy that's been a captain so many times. It's brutal.
Hey man, you're welcome back as long as the number's right. You're welcome.
Right,
back.
but it's kind of in a way. I mean, in the player's defense, you sign these contracts, everyone agrees to them. Then it's like they're really only good for like the first year or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
Depending on, unless you're in Dominican Sue and you get guaranteed money forever.
Wow. I mean, thank God. Good. The Dolphins crippled themselves by doing that. But getting back to the game. I mean, it was just repeatedly that the Pats had to just kind of settle for field goals, and then they wouldn't take the field goals in the second half. And the Brady picks, man, they would just kill it. The first one, I mean, that's kind of on Brady. And the second one, he was just so under duress, and he threw that pick to Darian Stewart, and Klein just got absolutely blown up on that play. I mean, can we give any advice to like Cameron Fleming or Marcus Cannon as to their nightmares of seeing Von Miller in their sleep the past couple nights? I mean, count sheep,
Yeah.
Actually, what do you think about that?
Yeah, exactly.
The offensive line.
Well, I'll tell you what. We had a Bronco fan make a comment on our YouTube. They said
nice.
That's
Troll City.
Yeah, he was trolling on there. He's like, what did he say?
He said, do you know who Malik Jackson is now?
Right. And I think I speak for all Pats fans when I say go figure out a way to beat the Panthers.
Yeah.
Good luck. I actually think I'm pulling for Manning.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a good topic.
Who's going to win the Super Bowl? I mean, it's taken me a couple days. I thought I was going to be. My plan was take a couple days and come around to Manning. But watching them celebrate, I got to be honest with the class that they have, or lack of class thereof. It's been tough. But I think come Super Bowl, I'm going to have to. I mean, the sheriff. You'd like to see him roll off
go out in style. I mean, he has been a class actor all the years, despite his terrible teammates along the way.
4 different head coaches in the Super Bowls.
That's pretty impressive.
For all these reasons, I'm kind of like cheering for Peyton Manning to kind of go out on top like that. Kind of, Elway, the whole thing. There's something about like Rivera and Cam Newton, what they've been able to do this year. It's pretty, like to finish it off is pretty impressive. Like I think that team truly. If they win the Super Bowl, they truly are the best team in the league.
What's the opening line?
It was like 4.5. It's moving up and up and up.
Yeah, I bet.
The public is jumping on the Panthers.
Yeah.
So you take the points and go with the Broncos. But
wait and see if it gets over a touchdown first.
I don't think it'll move that far, but you never know. But yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to I think that the Broncos defense are going to be able to contain Cam Newton a bit. I think that pass rush and they're good. That defense is I saw. That's a good defense.
Number one defense in the league. I mean, and Michael Orr is kind of like 1 year removed from being one of the bigger turnstiles in the league. I just don't know how he's been able to turn that around.
So I think that I think they're going to be able to hold him there. But the question is, can the Broncos offense get it done against the Carolina Panthers?
Yeah, I mean that's the question. I mean, and one of the things that's where the Panthers are really weak right now is like past Josh Norman, they're kind of slim in that secondary. That kid Ben Wickway or whatever, he's out. Peanut Tillman, who actually has kind of been a little bit reborn this year with them, he's out, I believe. So
can Peyton Manning make it happen?
I mean, I didn't think he was going to beat the Patriots.
I think they definitely
they have a shot.
No, I do too.
We have it fresh in our mind, Peyton Manning getting absolutely worked in the Super Bowl, though, a few years ago. So maybe that's why we just have some reservations in that. But
and this would be a good game. It'd be nice to just sit back and like not care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be very inebriated come kickoff. I'll tell you that. I mean, I don't really care at all.
Who's winning the Super Bowl?
Hopefully, I'll win a square.
Yeah, Cash. Who's winning the Super Bowl?
Panthers.
All right.
All right.
There you go. There you have it.
There it is.
What's the score?
No.
Okay.
All right. No venture to guess. One of you guys want to proffer a guess up there, or what?
What, for a score?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I think it's gonna be under. So I think it's I think we're looking at like a 28.
Ooh,
tie game.
Gonna end
Wow,
the-
first
end the
one in
tie.
Super Bowl history.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 23-19
Bud Selig probably came in.
Denver Broncos.
23-19. Hang on to those
the shot-
3-9
I think the
Fox tickets.
The shot clock ran up on me, huh? Got it.
How about
28 nothing.
what's the total? 31-17. What's the total?
What's that?
What's the total?
On that? 48?
No, I mean, what's the over/under right now?
Oh,
You've seen.
you don't understand. I took a break from all this after this loss.
Are you
I
gonna finish
barely
off
got
your
out.
prediction though? 28.
You're the closest thing to a degenerate gamble we have on this panel, so this is why we go to you for this. I'm recovered.
28-.
Oh, you're coming out. You're still coming, yeah.
Yeah, we're still wondering
I'm
what the
thinking
other
like
side
Still
of
a
this
tie
is.
game.
It's a tie game right now, so you called overtime, which I like.
Interesting.
We have an
I'm
overtime.
indecisive. What do you want from me? I don't know. I still don't know who's going to win the game. I just don't know 28. I mean, that's my square that I'm going to win. I don't know.
The great presence of mind from Gronk on that last TD to not step out of bounds. On that. I mean,
unbelievable.
just incredible. Just like tight roping, and to be able to split those two guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm
and
saying.
Just like, oh, that's why it was shocking that Brady, especially when he was rolling out right. And like Tim Hasback said that Gronk
On the two-point
is his,
conversion?
Yeah, on the
Yeah.
2-point conversion.
Yeah.
That Gronk is his second
in the
progression
progression.
on that, and
Yeah.
Edelman will be third.
Yeah.
And Edelman had double coverage,
That
and
goes
Gronk
into
had single.
his mentality was disrupted. His decision making process was disrupted. You know, I mean,
Yeah, and did you see-
it's simple, you know.
Did you see
like
that-
you said, Monday morning quarterbacking. But, I mean,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but did you see that play? Like, you saw Gronk cut into the corner, and you're
wide
like,
open.
you just
And,
throw it to the
like,
corner. He's gonna catch up to that.
He's been your most consistent player the entire game. You've been throwing it to him with double coverage. He has single coverage
That catch he made
like,
down the
oof.
field, the
on
extent.
4th and 10.
Oh my,
Huge.
unbelievable.
Guy's an animal.
Unbelievable. That was just like, I am going to catch this ball and keep us in this game. Like, that was just straight Gronkowski saying, I'll keep this alive here.
Yeah. And look back. I know you don't want to blame the officials, Kev, so leave it to me. On that 4th and 6, where Brady kind of got flushed and he just throws it up to the back of the end zone for Gronk into like triple coverage.
Yeah.
Look at that replay.
Yeah.
Because and Gronk touched upon it in the post game.
Talib?
Aqib has hands on either side of him, and you can look at that left hand, and it's not pulling the shirt so it comes away, but there is jersey clench, and he can't. You could see Gronk try and get up, and he reacts right away to it. You know, it's like there definitely is a different set of rules for Gronk.
well,
this is
what they-
very
what they-
Shaq-like in the
Right.
fact that they don't.
What they
call.
were going to do is we're not going to call OPI on you, but we're not going to call any
DPI either.
Exactly. We're not going to give you any calls.
Oh my God! So take a.
We're
take
not
a good
blaming the
look at
refs,
that.
right? We're not blaming the refs.
No, we're not.
No.
Because it's
We just didn't make enough plays.
they
out
didn't
there.
make enough
Denver's
plays
got a
out
good
there.
team. They're well coached. We just didn't make enough plays in the end. Came up a little bit short. You know I'm going to take the Belichickian view on this. Anybody tweeting you? Where would people tweet you if they wanted to tweet you? Say, hey, great job, great season, this guy. Or,
Tell us how we can improve next season.
Yeah.
What can we do?
What can
In
we do?
fact, we're looking
tell
for
us your Twitter
and
first.
if
Let me think of it. Tell us your Twitter. Come on.
at J Cherella, letter J Cherella.
Nice. And hit these guys up. Let them know that, we're getting played out. We're getting played out. What about you?
Curtains on. Kevin F. Finn.
Yeah.
KEVINFFINN.
And what about Cassius? Just in case he's
Finn.
gained some lady fans.
CASHTONFINN. What do you got? Any final words for us, Cashy? Go Pats.
23-17. That's
Oh, he
here
came back
comes.
to it.
All right.
23-17.
Wow.
Very nice. I mean, how can they improve next year? I mean, obviously, we're kind of coming at a deficit.
Carolina,
with,
by the way. 23-17 Carolina.
Gotcha. With no first-round pick
Carolina.
and no fourth-round pick going into the season, this draft, unfortunately. We've got to love Bill Belichick. Already down the Senior Bowl with half his staff checking things out. It's just incredible. But, yeah. So, obviously, I think I would like to see another offensive tackle in the mix. I would like to see a big wide receiver. And I would like to see I always love competition on the offensive line. Just that, bring in guys, whether they're on the practice squad or what, but have depth at that position. I mean, Marcus Cannon pretty much just showed that he is not a tackle; he's a guard. So you need to get somebody else at that guard position, just in case Soldier or Seabass go down next year. But definitely hit these guys up, though, and let them know that they should be on Red Sox Wrap 360. That's going to be starting up here in a few months. We might do a little spring training show, so keep an eye out for that in mid-February.
Any maybe playoff black and gold?
Playoff black and gold?
Bruins?
Well, Bruins and Celtics are Celtics are on a little bit of a run. They won 4 or 5 in a row, and they're both hovering around that 5 seed.
Exactly.
Which is overachieving, definitely, for the Bruins. But the Celtics, hey, I said at the beginning of the year they should go for that 4th seed. But, are you starting up a Celtics Wrap 360 or a Bruins? Not quite yet.
Not yet.
We'll see you in the Red Sox one. Hit these guys up on Twitter and tell them they should join the Red Sox one, folks. They're a little chicken right now. But any final thoughts on the season, guys, before we sign off?
Cash, any final thoughts? Go ahead. I feel the same way.
Great point. Great point.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about the season. But
it was a great season nonetheless. I mean, we got to be happy we cheer for a team that's been in 5 straight AFC championships. Hopefully they can make it 6 straight next year. Guys, thanks for all the tuning in this week.
Thanks for Kevin.
And
Kevin,
this week, thanks to Kevin Undergaro. We appreciate that. Appreciate the opportunity. Thanks, Cash Finn, for coming in tonight. Thanks to Kevin Finn, Jason Cherella.
Thanks, Collins.
I'm Mike Conley. This has been a Patriots Wrap 360. Thanks again, guys. Go Pats.
Go Pats. Go Bruins. Go Celtics.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.